Speaking English is about finding ways to communicate your thoughts, even when you do not know the exact words. For example, if you cannot remember a specific word, try using other words to describe it. You can also use gestures or point to things to help explain your meaning. This is called using workarounds, and it is a very useful skill. The more you practice finding ways to express yourself, the more confident you will feel when speaking. Communication is about understanding, not perfection. Another way to get better at speaking is to repeat things you hear. When you watch a movie or listen to someone speak, try to repeat their sentences. Focus on how they say the words, the tone of their voice, and the rhythm of their speech. Repeating sentences helps you get used to how English sounds. It also helps you practice pronunciation and fluency. Even if you do not understand every word, copying the sounds and patterns will improve your speaking skills over time. When you are learning English, it is helpful to talk about things you enjoy. If you like sports, music, cooking, or travel, try to have conversations about these topics. Talking about something you know and love makes it easier to find the right words. It also helps you stay motivated because you are discussing something interesting. You can learn vocabulary related to your favorite topics and use it in real conversations. This makes learning feel more personal and enjoyable. It is also important to focus on your listening skills when you are trying to speak better English. Listening is a big part of communication. When you listen carefully, you can understand how people respond to what you say. It also helps you pick up new words and phrases that you can use later. Practice listening to different types of English, such as accents from different countries. This will make it easier for you to understand and talk to a variety of people. Practicing in front of a mirror is another way to improve your English speaking. Stand in front of a mirror and speak out loud. Watch your mouth and facial expressions as you talk. This helps you become more aware of how you are speaking. It also helps you feel more comfortable with your own voice. Practicing in front of a mirror is like preparing for a real conversation. You can see yourself, correct your mistakes, and build your confidence in a safe and private space. If you feel nervous about speaking English in front of others, start by practicing in situations where you feel safe. For example, you can practice with a close friend or family member who supports you. You can also start with short and simple conversations, like saying hello to a neighbor or asking a store clerk a question. These small interactions help you get used to speaking English in real-life situations. Over time, you will feel more confident and ready to try longer conversations. Learning to ask questions is a great way to practice speaking. When you ask questions, you start a conversation and show interest in the other person. You can ask simple questions like, "How are you?" or "What did you do today?" You can also ask about things you are curious about, like someone's job or hobbies. Asking questions gives you a chance to practice speaking while learning new things. It also helps you build connections with others, which makes conversations more enjoyable. It is important to practice speaking English every day, even if it is just for a few minutes. Daily practice helps you remember what you have learned and keeps you moving forwards. You do not need to spend hours practicing. Short, regular sessions are more effective. For example, you can talk to yourself while doing chores, practice new words while walking, or have a quick chat with a friend. The more you use English in your daily life, the more natural it will feel. Using technology can also help you improve your English speaking. There are many apps and websites designed to help people learn languages. Some apps let you practice speaking by recording your voice and giving you feedback. Others connect you with native speakers for conversations. Technology gives you more opportunities to practice, even if you do not have many English-speaking friends. Make use of these tools to practice whenever and wherever you can. When you speak English, try to focus on being clear rather than fast. Speaking quickly does not mean you are fluent, and it can make it harder for others to understand you. Instead, focus on speaking slowly and clearly. Take your time to think about what you want to say. If you feel stuck, pause for a moment to collect your thoughts. Speaking slowly helps you feel more in control and makes it easier for others to follow what you are saying. It is helpful to practice English in different situations. For example, you can practice ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or talking to a doctor. These are common situations where you might need to speak English. Practicing these scenarios helps you feel more prepared and confident when they happen in real life. You can also role-play these situations with a friend or teacher to practice what you would say. Learning idioms and expressions can make your English sound more natural. Idioms are phrases that have a special meaning, like break the ice or piece of cake. Using these expressions shows that you understand the language and culture. You do not need to learn too many at once. Start with a few and practice using them in sentences. Learning idioms is fun, and it helps you connect with native speakers in a more meaningful way. Another way to improve your English is to set specific goals for yourself. For example, you can set a goal to learn 10 new words each week or to have a 5-minute conversation in English every day. Goals give you something to work toward and help you measure your progress. Make sure your goals are realistic and achievable. Celebrate when you reach your goals and set new ones to keep challenging yourself. If you feel shy about speaking English, remember that everyone learns at their own pace. It is normal to feel nervous, but do not let fear stop you from trying. Most people are kind and will appreciate your effort to communicate. The more you practice, the less nervous you will feel. Over time, speaking English will become a normal part of your life, and you will feel more comfortable in different situations. It is helpful to keep a notebook where you write down new words and phrases. Whenever you learn something new, write it in your notebook and review it regularly. You can also write example sentences to help you remember how to use the words. Keeping a notebook helps you stay organized and track your progress. It also gives you something to look back on to see how much you have learned. Practicing with songs can make learning English more fun. Choose songs with simple lyrics and sing along to them. This helps you improve your pronunciation and learn new words. Singing also helps you get used to the rhythm and flow of English. If you do not understand some of the lyrics, look them up and try to learn their meaning. Songs are a great way to practice speaking in a relaxed and enjoyable way. Reading simple books in English can also help you improve your speaking. Look for books that are written for learners or young readers. As you read, say the words out loud to practice pronunciation. Reading helps you learn how sentences are structured and gives you more ideas for what to say in conversations. Start with easy books and move on to more difficult ones as you improve. Reading is a great way to build your vocabulary and confidence. To stay motivated, remind yourself why you want to learn English. Maybe you want to travel, make new friends, or advance in your career. Keeping your goal in mind helps you stay focused and determined. Learning a language can be challenging, but it is also very rewarding. Every time you use English to communicate, you are achieving something special. Be proud of yourself for taking on this challenge and keep working toward your goal. Practicing speaking in groups can also be very helpful. Join a language group or class where you can practice with others who are learning English. Group practice helps you learn from others and gives you a chance to speak in a supportive environment. You can also make friends who share the same goal, which makes learning more enjoyable. Speaking in a group helps you get used to different voices and accents, which improves your listening skills as well. When you practice speaking, it is okay to repeat the same sentences or phrases many times. Repetition helps you remember and feel more comfortable with the language. For example, you can practice introducing yourself, talking about your hobbies, or describing your day. Repeating these common sentences makes them feel automatic, so you do not have to think too hard when you say them. The more you repeat, the more fluent you will become. Remember that learning to speak English is a journey, not a race. It is okay to take your time and go at your own pace. Some days you will feel like you are making a lot of progress, and other days you might feel stuck. This is normal, and it happens to everyone. The important thing is to keep practicing and not give up. Every effort you make brings you closer to your goal of speaking English with confidence. Keep going, and you will get there. Improving your English speaking is a journey that takes time, practice, and patience. If you want to speak English better, the first thing you need to understand is that it is not about being perfect. No one speaks any language perfectly all the time. Even native speakers make mistakes, pause to think, or search for the right words. The most important part is to be understood and to feel confident when you speak. Confidence comes from practicing every day, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Start with small steps, and you will see progress over time. One of the best ways to get better at speaking English is to listen carefully to how others speak. You can listen to people on TV shows, in movies, or in real-life conversations. Pay attention to the way they pronounce words, how they form sentences, and the rhythm of their speech. Listening helps you become familiar with the natural flow of English. It also helps you learn how native speakers use expressions and phrases in different situations. The more you listen, the more you will understand how the language works and how to use it yourself. When you are learning to speak English, do not be afraid to make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of the learning process. If you wait until you can speak perfectly, you will never start speaking. The important thing is to try. Even if your sentences are not perfect, people will usually understand you. If they do not, they might ask you to repeat or explain. This is a chance for you to learn and improve. Remember, every mistake teaches you something new and brings you closer to speaking better English. Practicing with others is very important. If you know someone who speaks English, ask them to practice with you. It could be a friend, a family member, or even a teacher. If you do not have anyone to practice with, you can join online groups or language exchange programs. Speaking with others helps you get used to having real conversations. It also helps you learn new words and phrases that you can use in your own speech. The more you practice speaking with others, the more comfortable you will feel. Reading out loud can also help you improve your speaking skills. Choose something simple to read, like a short story or an article, and read it aloud to yourself. This helps you practice pronunciation and get used to forming sentences. It also builds your confidence because you are practicing speaking in a low-pressure way. Over time, you will notice that you are able to speak more smoothly and naturally. Reading out loud is like training your mouth and mind to work together in English. It is important to build a good vocabulary if you want to speak English well. Start by learning words and phrases that you can use in everyday conversations. For example, you can learn how to talk about your hobbies, your family, your job, or your favorite foods. Use flashcards or apps to help you remember new words. Try to use these words in sentences when you speak. The more you use a word, the easier it is to remember. Having a strong vocabulary makes it easier to express your thoughts and ideas. Another way to improve is by talking to yourself in English. This might feel strange at first, but it is a great way to practice. You can talk about your day, describe what you see around you, or even make up a story. Speaking to yourself helps you get used to thinking in English. It also gives you a chance to practice without worrying about making mistakes in front of others. The more you talk to yourself, the more natural it will feel to speak English. Watching English shows and movies is a fun way to learn how to speak better. Try to choose programs that match your level of English. If you are a beginner, start with simple cartoons or shows for children. As you improve, you can watch more advanced programs. Pay attention to how the characters speak and try to copy their pronunciation and intonation. If there are subtitles, use them to understand the words, but also try listening without reading sometimes. This helps you improve both your listening and speaking skills. Joining an English speaking club or class can also be very helpful. Being around others who are learning or already speak English gives you a chance to practice in a supportive environment. You can participate in discussions, play language games, or work on group projects. This helps you practice speaking in different situations. It also gives you a chance to learn from others and to see that everyone has challenges when learning a new language. Support from others makes the process more enjoyable and less stressful. It is very important to be patient with yourself as you work on your English speaking. Learning a language takes time, and you might not see results right away. Celebrate small successes, like learning a new word or having a short conversation in English. These small wins build your confidence and keep you motivated. Do not compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your progress and keep practicing, even if it feels hard sometimes. Recording yourself while you speak can also help you improve. Use your phone or a recording device to capture yourself talking in English. Then listen to the recording to hear how you sound. This helps you notice areas where you can improve, like pronunciation or sentence structure. It also shows you how much progress you are making over time. Hearing yourself speak can feel strange at first, but it is a very useful tool for getting better at English. Practicing pronunciation is very important when you want to speak clearly. If people cannot understand your words, it makes communication harder. Focus on the sounds that are different from your native language. You can use online resources or apps to help you learn the correct pronunciation of English words. Repeat words and sentences many times until they feel natural. Practicing pronunciation helps you feel more confident and makes it easier for others to understand you. Learning common phrases and expressions is also helpful. Instead of focusing only on individual words, try to learn how people say things in real life. For example, learn how to greet someone, ask for help, or order food at a restaurant. These are practical skills that you can use every day. Learning phrases helps you sound more natural when you speak. It also makes it easier to have conversations because you already know how to say certain things. Taking small steps every day is the key to getting better at speaking English. Even if you only practice for 10 or 15 minutes a day, it adds up over time. Consistency is more important than doing a lot all at once. Try to include English in your daily routine. For example, you can listen to English songs while cooking, watch a short video in English, or practice speaking for a few minutes before bed. Small, regular practice helps you improve steadily. You should not worry too much about grammar when you are speaking. Of course, grammar is important, but when you are having a conversation, your main goal is to communicate. If you focus too much on making perfect sentences, it can make you nervous or slow you down. Instead, try to focus on sharing your ideas clearly. You can work on grammar separately through writing or studying. Over time, your grammar will improve naturally as you practice speaking more. Setting goals can help you stay motivated as you work on your English. Your goals do not have to be big. They can be small and specific. For example, you can set a goal to learn 5 new words every week or to have a short conversation in English with someone. Reaching these small goals gives you a sense of accomplishment and encourages you to keep going. As you achieve one goal, you can set another, gradually building your skills and confidence. Being curious and open-minded about the English language can also help you improve. Explore different ways to learn and practice. You might find that you enjoy listening to podcasts, reading books, or watching videos. Try different methods to see what works best for you. Be curious about the culture and traditions of English-speaking countries too. Understanding the culture can give you more context for the language and help you connect with others when you speak. When you feel nervous about speaking English, remember that most people are kind and understanding. They know that learning a new language is not easy. If someone corrects you, take it as a chance to learn, not as a criticism. Most people are happy to help and will appreciate your effort to communicate. Speaking a new language is a brave thing to do, and you should be proud of yourself for trying. Confidence comes from practice, and each conversation makes you stronger. The key to improving your English speaking is to keep practicing, stay patient, and never give up. It might be challenging at times, but every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Enjoy the process of learning and celebrate every improvement, no matter how small. English is a tool that can open doors to new opportunities and experiences. With time, effort, and determination, you will get better and feel more confident speaking English. Keep going, and you will succeed. To improve your English speaking, it is important to remember that every little effort you make counts. When you practice, you are building a habit that helps you learn over time. Some days will feel easy, and other days might feel harder, but the key is to keep going. Learning to speak English is like learning any new skill. It takes time and repetition to see results. Even if you feel like you are not making progress, keep practicing. Every small step brings you closer to your goal. To keep improving your English speaking, you need to remember that learning a language is a step-by-step process. There is no shortcut, but there is no reason to feel discouraged. Every time you try, even if it feels small, you are getting better. Each practice session builds on the last one. It is like building a house brick by brick until one day you see the whole structure. The progress might seem slow, but the result is always worth it. One thing that helps a lot is thinking in English. Many people try to translate their thoughts from their native language into English, but this can be slow and confusing. Instead, try to think directly in English. Start with small things, like naming objects around you in English. Over time, move to bigger ideas, like planning your day or describing what you see. Thinking in English helps you become more comfortable and makes speaking feel more natural. You can also improve your speaking by focusing on common words and phrases. Most conversations use the same basic vocabulary. Learning these common words helps you join conversations more easily. For example, learn how to talk about everyday topics like food, travel, family, and weather. These are things people talk about all the time. When you know the right words for common topics, you feel more prepared to speak. Start simple, and then build on what you know. Sometimes, it is good to slow down and focus on the basics. Even if you want to learn advanced words or complex grammar, it is better to have a strong foundation first. Practice the basic tenses, simple sentences, and common words until they feel easy. This gives you a solid base to build on. When you understand the basics well, speaking English becomes easier and less stressful. You can always add more advanced things later. Another helpful practice is to use online tools to check your pronunciation. There are many websites and apps where you can type in a word and it will pronounce it for you. Listen carefully and try to copy the sound. You can even record yourself and compare your pronunciation to the original. This kind of focused practice helps you notice small differences in how words are pronounced. Over time, your pronunciation will improve and people will understand you more easily. If you have the chance, try to spend time with people who speak English. This could be native speakers or other learners like yourself. Being around English speakers gives you more opportunities to practice. Listen to how they talk, and do not be afraid to join the conversation. Even if you just say a few sentences, it helps you practice in a real-life setting. Spending time in an English-speaking environment is one of the best ways to learn. Another way to practice is by describing your daily activities in English. For example, when you wake up, you can say, "I am getting out of bed." When you eat, say, "I am having breakfast." This kind of practice helps you think in English and build sentences naturally. It also makes speaking English a regular part of your day. The more you do this, the more comfortable you will feel using English in real conversations. If you enjoy writing, you can use it to improve your speaking as well. Write short sentences or stories in English and then read them out loud. This helps you practice forming sentences and saying them clearly. Writing and speaking are connected because both involve putting your thoughts into words. Writing first gives you time to think, and then speaking helps you practice saying the words naturally. It is a great way to build confidence. It is important to have patience when learning to speak English. Sometimes, you might feel frustrated or think you are not improving. These feelings are normal, but they should not stop you from trying. Remember that every time you practice, you are learning something new. Even if you do not notice the progress right away, it is happening. Learning a language is like planting a seed. It takes time and care, but it will grow. Watching videos of people speaking English can also help you. Choose videos with subtitles so you can read along as you listen. Pay attention to how the speakers move their mouths and use their hands to communicate. Try to imitate their tone and expressions. Watching videos is not just about listening. It is also about observing how people use the language in different situations. This helps you learn the natural flow of English. If you make a mistake while speaking, do not feel bad. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Every mistake teaches you something new. Instead of being embarrassed, try to understand what went wrong and how to fix it. People will usually appreciate your effort and may even help you correct the mistake. Remember, making mistakes shows that you are trying, and trying is the only way to improve. Be proud of yourself for speaking, even if it is not perfect. To make your practice more fun, try using games and activities. For example, you can play word games like Scrabble or crossword puzzles in English. These games help you learn new words and practice spelling. You can also try role-playing games where you pretend to be in different situations, like ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions. Games make learning more enjoyable and help you relax while practicing. Sometimes, it is good to challenge yourself to speak for a longer time. Set a timer for 1 or 2 minutes and try to talk about a topic without stopping. You can choose simple topics like your favorite food or a recent trip. Speaking for a set amount of time helps you practice organizing your thoughts and expressing them clearly. It might feel difficult at first, but it gets easier with practice. This exercise also helps you build your confidence. You can also practice by asking yourself questions in English and answering them. For example, ask yourself, "What did I do today?" And then answer, "I went to the store and bought some fruit." This helps you think in English and practice speaking at the same time. Asking and answering questions is a skill you will use in real conversations, so it is a good habit to develop. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Reading news articles in English is another way to improve your speaking. Choose short articles about topics that interest you and read them out loud. This helps you practice pronunciation and learn new words. After reading, try to summarize the article in your own words. This helps you practice speaking and organizing your thoughts. Reading news articles also keeps you informed about what is happening in the world, which can be useful for starting conversations. It is also helpful to learn about English culture and traditions. Language and culture are connected, and understanding the culture helps you use the language more effectively. For example, learning about holidays, food, or customs gives you more things to talk about. It also helps you understand why people say certain things or act a certain way. Learning about culture makes speaking English more interesting and helps you connect with others. Practicing tongue twisters is a fun way to improve your pronunciation. Tongue twisters are phrases that are difficult to say quickly, like, "She sells seashells by the seashore." They help you practice the sounds of English and improve your clarity. Start slowly and focus on saying each word correctly. As you get better, try saying them faster. Tongue twisters are a fun challenge and a great way to make your practice more exciting. Another useful habit is to repeat phrases and sentences that you hear often. For example, if someone says, "How are you today?" repeat it to yourself. This helps you get used to common phrases and how they are used in conversations. Repeating what you hear also helps you improve your memory and pronunciation. The more you practice repeating, the more natural these phrases will feel when you use them. If you have a favorite hobby, use it as a way to practice English. For example, if you like cooking, watch cooking videos in English and try to explain the recipes in your own words. If you enjoy sports, talk about your favorite teams or players. Connecting English practice to something you love makes it more enjoyable and meaningful. It also gives you specific vocabulary to learn and use in conversations. Staying positive is very important when learning to speak English. There will be times when it feels hard or frustrating, but do not let these moments discourage you. Focus on how far you have come and the progress you have made. Celebrate small achievements, like learning a new word or having a short conversation. Positive thinking keeps you motivated and helps you enjoy the process of learning. You can also improve your speaking by practicing with a language partner. Find someone who is learning your language and wants to practice English. You can take turns speaking in each language, helping each other improve. This kind of exchange is helpful because both of you are learning and can support each other. Practicing with a partner also makes learning more social and enjoyable. It is important to review what you have learned regularly. Go back to the words and phrases you practiced before and use them again. Reviewing helps you remember and strengthens your skills. You can also try using old vocabulary in new sentences to see how much you have learned. Regular review is like exercising your brain. It keeps your skills sharp and ready to use. Remember, the more you speak, the better you will get. It is normal to feel nervous at first, but with practice, speaking English will become easier. Try to find opportunities to practice every day, whether it is talking to someone, practicing alone, or using online tools. Every bit of practice helps you grow more confident and fluent. Keep working on it, and you will see the results in time. Learning to speak English is a journey that takes time and effort, but it is also very rewarding. You must always remember that each small step you take brings you closer to your goal. Whether you practice for a few minutes or an hour every day, it all adds up. The important thing is to keep trying and not give up. Even when progress feels slow, trust that you are improving little by little. A great way to stay motivated is to think about why you want to learn English. Maybe you want to travel, meet new people, or get a better job. Whatever your reason is, keep it in your mind. When you have a clear goal, it is easier to stay focused. Remind yourself of the benefits of speaking English. This can help you stay positive and excited about learning, even on days when it feels challenging. One tip to improve your speaking is to practice in front of a mirror. When you speak in front of a mirror, you can see how your mouth moves. This helps you focus on pronunciation and expression. It also helps you feel more confident because you are practicing speaking out loud. You can pretend you are having a conversation with someone. The more you do this, the more natural it will feel when you talk to others. Listening to English music is another fun way to improve your speaking. Choose songs with clear lyrics and try to sing along. This helps you practice pronunciation and rhythm. Music also makes learning more enjoyable, so you are more likely to stick with it. If you do not understand the lyrics, look them up and learn what they mean. Singing along to your favorite songs can be a great way to practice speaking without feeling like you are studying. You can also practice English by narrating your actions. For example, if you are cooking, you can say, "I am cutting the vegetables," or "I am boiling water." This helps you think in English and use the language in real situations. narrating your actions makes English a natural part of your day. It is a simple but effective way to practice, and it helps you feel more comfortable using English. Joining online groups or forums is another good way to practice speaking. Many groups are focused on learning English, and they are full of people who want to improve, just like you. In these groups, you can ask questions, share tips, and even join video calls to practice speaking. Being part of a community makes learning more social and fun. It also gives you a chance to connect with people from different countries who are learning English too. Watching English movies or TV shows is a great way to learn how people speak naturally. Choose shows that are easy to understand and use subtitles if you need them. Pay attention to how the actors speak and try to copy their pronunciation and tone. Watching shows also helps you learn new words and phrases. Over time, you will start to recognize patterns in how people speak, which will help you in your own conversations. You can improve your English by practicing with a recording device. Record yourself speaking about a topic, then listen to the recording. This helps you hear your mistakes and understand what you need to improve. It might feel strange at first, but it is a very effective way to practice. When you listen to yourself, you can notice things like pronunciation, grammar, and fluency. Use this feedback to keep improving. Reading children's books in English is a good way to build your vocabulary. These books are written in simple language and are easy to understand. As you read, try to say the words out loud. This helps you practice speaking and improves your pronunciation. Children's books often use common words and phrases, so they are very useful for learning the basics. Reading them is also fun and relaxing, making it easier to stay motivated. If you enjoy talking to yourself, use this as a way to practice English. For example, you can pretend you are giving a speech or telling a story. Speaking to yourself allows you to practice without any pressure. You can take your time, try new words, and correct your mistakes. This kind of practice helps you build confidence and prepares you for real conversations. The more you practice, the more fluent you will become. Writing a daily diary in English is another way to improve your speaking skills. At the end of each day, write a few sentences about what you did or how you felt. Then, read what you wrote out loud. This helps you practice forming sentences and saying them clearly. Writing in a diary also helps you think in English, which is important for speaking fluently. Over time, you will notice that it becomes easier to express your thoughts. Learning idioms and expressions can make your speaking more interesting. Idioms are phrases that have a special meaning, like break the ice or spill the beans. People use idioms a lot in conversations, so learning them helps you understand and participate more easily. Practice using 1 or 2 idioms in your daily speaking. This adds variety to your language and makes you sound more natural when you talk. If you have friends who are learning English, practice speaking with them. You can take turns asking and answering questions or talk about a topic you both enjoy. Practicing with friends is less intimidating because you are both learning. You can help each other and share tips for improvement. Talking with friends also makes learning more fun and gives you more opportunities to practice speaking in a comfortable setting. Do not forget to take breaks when learning English. It is important to rest and relax so you do not feel overwhelmed. Learning a language is like exercising a muscle. You need time to recover. Taking breaks helps you come back to your practice with more energy and focus. During your breaks, you can still listen to English music or watch a short video to keep your mind in touch with the language. If you have access to language apps, use them to practice speaking. Many apps have exercises where you can listen to a sentence and repeat it. Some apps even use speech recognition to check your pronunciation. Using these apps is like having a personal teacher that you can use anytime. They make learning more interactive and help you focus on specific areas that need improvement. Apps are a convenient way to practice speaking every day. You can also try storytelling to practice your English. Think of a simple story from your life and tell it in English. Start with something easy, like what you did last weekend or a funny moment with a friend. Telling stories helps you practice organizing your thoughts and expressing them clearly. It also helps you practice using past tense, which is common in storytelling. Sharing your stories with others is a great way to connect and practice speaking. Reading aloud is a powerful way to improve your speaking skills. Choose a book, article, or even a poem and read it out loud. Focus on pronouncing each word clearly and using the right intonation. Reading aloud helps you get used to the sounds of English and improves your fluency. It also helps you feel more comfortable speaking in front of others. Make this a regular part of your practice, and you will see improvement. If you like to draw or write notes, use this to learn English. For example, you can draw pictures of objects and label them in English. This helps you connect words with images, which makes them easier to remember. You can also create flashcards with English words on one side and their meanings on the other. Using creative methods like this makes learning more engaging and helps you enjoy the process. One fun way to practice English is to imagine conversations in different situations. For example, pretend you are at a store and think about what you would say to the cashier. Imagine how the conversation might go and practice saying the sentences out loud. This kind of role-playing helps you prepare for real-life situations. It also makes you more confident when these situations happen in real life. When you feel ready, try speaking with native English speakers. They can give you feedback and help you learn new ways to say things. Do not worry about making mistakes. Most people are happy to help if they see you are trying. Speaking with native speakers helps you learn the natural flow of the language. It also gives you a chance to practice listening to different accents and styles of speaking. Practicing small talk is another way to improve your speaking. Small talk is light, casual conversation, like saying, "How are you?" or "The weather is nice today." These types of conversations are common and help you get comfortable speaking with others. Practice asking simple questions and giving short answers. Small talk is a great way to build confidence and start conversations with new people. To improve your listening skills, try listening to podcasts in English. Choose topics that interest you and listen carefully to how the speakers talk. Try to repeat some of the sentences you hear to practice pronunciation. Listening to podcasts helps you get used to the rhythm and tone of English. It also helps you learn new vocabulary and expressions. The more you listen, the better you will understand and speak. If you enjoy cooking, use recipes to practice English. Find recipes in English and follow the instructions step by step. As you cook, say the steps out loud, like, I am chopping onions, or I am adding salt. This helps you learn cooking-related vocabulary and practice speaking at the same time. Cooking is a fun and practical way to use English in your daily life. Always remember that it is okay to feel nervous when speaking English. Everyone feels nervous at first, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. Try to focus on the positive and remind yourself of how much you have learned. Each conversation you have, no matter how short, is a step forward. Be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress, even if it feels small. Confidence comes with time and practice. If you make it a habit to practice every day, you will see steady improvement. Even if you only have 5 minutes, use that time to practice speaking. Consistency is more important than how much time you spend. Practicing a little bit every day helps you build a strong foundation. Over time, these small efforts add up, and you will become more fluent and confident in your English speaking skills.